Welcome, this is Melinda Barlow, CZT, Certified Tangle Teacher, and today's lesson is a beautiful floral type tangle by Silke Wagner called Hamsix Flor, and I adore floral tangles. And you can see I've done it on a couple of brown tiles and a white tile. No shading here yet, but I'm just going to set these aside and we're going to do this tangle on a white tile, and I am going to use an 01 micron 01 pen, and we're just going to get started. And I adore floral patterns, and I'm going to do this one so it fills the whole entire tile. And I could add some extra leaves, but I'm going to start with a little dot in the center, and you can hardly see that. That's come in a little bit so you can see that little dot in the center, and you could make it a little circle if you wanted. So we'll make it a little circle just so you can see it. And then I'm going to make some petals, and I want 5. So to achieve that and have them uniform, I'm going to do this first little petal, and think of it as like an airplane propeller. So there's with the propeller sticking up, and then we're going to do one going here and one going down there, so that then we can put 2 more petals in, and they're more evenly spaced, so that you get that kind of look. My petals are kind of odd shaped, but remember, there's no mistake in Zentangle, only opportunities. And so now we're going to come in and we're going to do a little echoing. And so I'm going to start in the center here, and it's going to come out and then back down to the center. So the center of that little petal, and then come down to the center. Whenever I start a tangle, I always think, oh, that is awful looking. Isn't that terrible that I would say that to myself? But I think that's just so amateur looking. But as we repeat, you get a better look. And then I'm just going to come up here, and Silke kind of has you go up a little bit on each side. And I'm going to come right back down into that center. And we're getting, you can kind of see that shape. It's getting a little hard shape. We're going to do one more. And I'm just going to work my way around. I still have some space, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another one there and another one just kind of in that little space. I want it filled all the way up. For me, I want it filled all the way, and you can see I've got some heavy lines down in here. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to just take a line, and I'm just going to draw a little wing up from, this is the in between those, so I can just, and I do kind of a takeoff. I should say I do a land, and then I come up and I kind of take off, so it kind of feathers out. And so now I have 5 of those coming out. And now, so I start from this point, come down a little, and then curve out. And you can see you get that organic looking kind of leaf that has a little bend in it. And now I'm just going to change out. And one of the project packs from Tangle, I got a green 05 pen. And I don't use it very much, but I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to put just some dots up the center with my green pen. I just feel like I want something a little different. So up the center of that little first original petal, I'm just gonna, and then I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna give myself a big green dot in the center. I love the color of this. I might have to see if I can order those. They're gorgeous. And then I'm going to just do a little bead line up this. And bead line is just a dot done on a line. But this time I'm using a different color of pen. Instead of black, I'm just using a green, that dark green color. You could use whatever you had. But you can see just by adding a few little dots on here make a difference. And another thing I found that I like doing is coming back and just almost echoing that line. So going over that black line with the green line. I did that with, get my arm in the way. I did that with this one, and I did brown, and I did it here with white, and I really like it. So just come down over the top of it. Sometimes that just enhances that darkness. Get that black in there first, and then we come down over it with that green. And now we can come in and do a little shading. And I am going to use a cool gray pencil, because when I use this and I blend with odorless paint thinner, or you can, it doesn't smear. Boy, that was a hard one to get out, wasn't it? So I'm just going to do in here, we'll see what it looks like when we shade it out. So I just put a little, and I don't have one of my little paint thinner pots right here, so I'm just dipping my, oh, I don't want that one. I want a clean shading stump, and that one had something on it. So it looks like several of them do. So I'm going to clean it off with my emery board, so I have a nice clean shading stump. And then I've dipped it in my odorless paint thinner, and then I'm just going to draw that shading out. Okay, I do like how that looks, so I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to put a little color in here too, just all the way around, and now blend those out so they kind of go up. Ooh, and it's picked up a little bit of the green off of my pen, and I like what's happened here. So I'm going to come and I'm going to put just on one side of my leaf. I'm going to put a little color. Then you notice I'm not having to dip my shading stump into my odorless paint thinner again. It still blends out, and I'm getting just a little bit of that green off of my pen because I didn't let it dry all the way. But oh, I love how that one turned out with the shading. It is beautiful. And now I'm going to come and I'm going to shade on the outside of that opposite leaf. And I probably will have to, I got a little bit more paint thinner on there because I really want it to blend out into this background. And so I'm kind of going the opposite direction. And a little round movements with my pen, and oh, gorgeous. There we have it. Here I've done it on brown, on a brown tile. Here I've done it on a black tile. And let's find my chalk pencil. There's my chalk. And we could add a little shading with a chalk pencil on the black. And I'm just going to add a little swirl in the center. And I'm going to pick up, I have a whole bunch that I've used in here. I'm going to clean this one off again on my emery board. And now I'm just going to blend. I'm just going to pull that center out and try to brush that out from the center. And there you can see what can happen. This is a beautiful tangle. Let me scan back out so you can see. And here I did just a half with a stem. You can be very creative with this tangle. Thanks, Silke. I love this particular tangle. Hamsix Flor by Silke Wagner. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And everything you see when I video, you can get at my store. Except I don't have green pens, but I will see what I can do. That is, it might be a while. But you probably got some other colors of pens that you could do to give this just a little different look. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks, Silke, for a great tangle. And tangle every day.